Hey guys, this is Nick from forexfornoobs.com with my midday analysis. If you enjoy this analysis and my other videos, hit the subscribe button below this video. Subscribing to my YouTube channel gives you an instant notification whenever I add a new video. Also, please hit the like button below if you find this video useful. So before I start the analysis, I want to explain how it works so you can actually use it in your trading. On most Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I hold a live analysis session for my Forex Mastermind students. These sessions are recorded and posted to YouTube. I say most because some days I'm busy and other days I'm not trading, and I have a rule: when I'm not trading, I do not post analysis. In the analysis, I look for price action reversal setups on around 10 to 20 pairs that I'm currently trading. I check every time frame for every pair, taking a systematic approach to doing analysis. Personally, I do this analysis several times per day, but only the midday session is recorded as most setups are spotted then. So what are setups? A reversal setup occurs when price stalls at an area of support resistance and a transition of power occurs, from buyers to sellers or from sellers to buyers. I wait for price to approach these areas and spot potential setups. But these setups are not actual trades. When I share a setup on this analysis, it doesn't mean I'm entering the trade right away. Setups are just setups, and many setups do not trigger, so they never actually become trades. But some of them do, of course, and some of them become trades. To understand this, you have to know a little bit about my strategy, which I share for free on forexfornoobs.com, and there's a link to the strategy also below. I use 4 different tags in the name of these analysis videos. The tags are in brackets at the end of the name. It's important to know these tags just so you understand what is in the video. So if you see no setups, that means there are no setups today, obviously. If you see upcoming setups on, that means there are no setups, but I have spotted some very strong support resistance areas, which may lead to setups later in the day. So that could be anywhere between a few hours to a whole day. And if it's tagged with setups on, that means there are setups today, and I'm sharing potential trades in the video itself. So let's get started with the analysis. Okay, so today is Thursday, the 11th of May, 2017, and the time is 14:04 here in the UK. You are looking at a NZDJPY daily chart. And in today's analysis, we're going to do what we do in every day's analysis, go through and look for reversal setups. So let's get started. All right, in yesterday's analysis, I mentioned a potential setup, NZDJPY short trade forming. That trade has triggered, it has been entered. It's going really well. It triggered really quick, just kind of like out of nowhere. It just started pushing down like crazy. So yeah, it's a good trade so far. It's going pretty well. Who's short on this with me? Tong, you're in. Rick, you're in. I'm just trying to adjust this chat so we can see it properly. We don't need that part of it. How many drag bars are there? Okay. All right. So Tong, Rick, and Mark. Anyone else? How many people are in the room? Oh, okay. I thought more of you would be in it. Anyway, so we're short on this one. It's going pretty well right now. It did push down fast. It got kind of close to target and then turned around. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep a close eye on it and see how it goes. I'm probably going to extend this target. This is just a kind of like, a pre-target. Like, not a pre-target. It's just I needed a target. I just threw it in. When I have some more time, I'm going to reassess it. I'm going to set an alarm here. Actually, I'm going to do that now because I kind of just want to. I don't want it to push down and hit my target in this webinar because I'm probably going to adjust this target. All right, here we go. I just want to check something real quick. Right, okay. All right, so there's a question from Clement. You did not mind keeping pending order. Well, people can see it now with the chat thing, so I don't have to read it out. No, I don't really care that much about. I've started just not to care about news. The way I see it is, if indecision forms before a major news release, it's forming because the news release is going to push price in that direction. So the very fact that indecision was forming here on GBP/JPY and on GBP, all the GBP pairs, the very fact that we were seeing that indecision was because the news was going to drive price down. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but when you think about it, banks, hedge funds are spending millions and millions on analysis, on news analysis, and they're spending millions and millions on data from places like Bloomberg, Reuters, and all of the other data providers. So they already know with a high degree of accuracy what the news is going to come out as and what effect it's going to have, especially with these economic releases. They already know the effect it's going to have. So they position themselves getting ready for those releases, and that's why we see the indecision candles forming just before the news. So I've started to just take the trade anyway. Over the last year, I've been trading through NFP, been trading through interest rate announcements. The only thing I don't really trade through anymore is speeches, because speeches are unpredictable. No one can really predict that. They could come out and say something crazy, or a reporter might ask a question worded in a specific way and kind of trick a central bank leader, for example, into saying something. So speeches I'm still worried about, but the other ones, I just kind of trade through them. I really don't care anymore. Most times, my theory is right. Most times it works out in my favor. The news pushes the reversal setup into the direction it actually causes the reversal. So yeah, I don't really care that much anymore. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Anyway, so we got GBP/JPY. It's working out quite well so far. Let's see how it goes. When it hits this alarm, I'm going to reassess and just decide if I want to hold this or if I want to just get out at the 1.5. I'm not so sure, so I'll just see how it goes. All right, USDCHF, we've got a setup forming on USDCHF. We discussed this one yesterday, and it hasn't triggered, but it's kind of matured, if that makes sense. It's matured into an even better setup. So we are looking at this potential candle here as an indecision candle. Today, we're getting a much nicer indecision candle. And if you look over to the left, it's a very similar kind of setup that we had last time it reversed from here. We got like this candle here with a big lower wick. It is bigger, but it's a bullish candle with a big lower wick. And then we got that candle, which is what this candle is starting to look like right now. So we're just going to wait this one out. I want to see how the daily closes. I don't want to jump the gun on this. I want to see how the daily closes, and then I'm gonna jump in. It's a strong bullish trend that we're up against, and I just want to see some confirmation that sellers are actually taking control, because right now, it's iffy. But GBP/JPY was in a similar state, but I took that one. So I might be tempted to jump in. We're just going to see how it plays out. I just don't really like this as much as GBP/JPY. It just doesn't feel as good. Can't really put my finger on what it is about it, but it just doesn't feel like as good a setup. So I'm just going to wait it out. I want to see how the daily closes. If the daily closes like this, then I'm probably going to get into a short trade here. So yeah, keep watching USDCHF. We'll see how that plays out. AUD CAD. My AUD CAD trade from yesterday. This trade during yesterday's analysis was like so close to hitting target. And I was saying, well, if this trade hits target, I'm taking the rest of the week off. This trade plus last week's amazing run. I was like, yeah, I'm taking the rest of the week off. What happens? It pushes down, hits my stop loss, and then turns around and goes to where I thought it would go. So it turned around because of news. So the news came out, smashed through my stop loss, and this was New Zealand news. So, I don't even know why it affected the AUD. I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure, because when I fail a trade, I don't like spend too much time trying to figure out a reason why it failed, because you know, if you look hard enough, you're always going to find a reason as to why your trade failed, and then you blame that reason, right? It's just so easy to find a news-based reason for a trade to fail and then just blame it. So I don't like doing that. So I think this was related to the New Zealand interest rate announcement, but I didn't look into it too deeply. But I'm pretty sure that was it. But yeah, you know, whatever. I mean, it happens. It happens. It was a bit of a surprise move, really. Like I was just saying with news, usually it pushes a trade in my direction. This time it didn't, but I think this one kind of caught everyone by surprise, because New Zealand interest rate announcement, I know the AUD and the New Zealand dollars are correlated, but not to this extent, generally speaking. But you know, whatever. It's a failed trade. I don't really care that much. It's just one of those things in trading where you get into a trade, it's going well, then it turns around, hits your stop loss, and then it turns back around and it starts going to your target. And you're just looking at it like, seriously? But you know, that's just trading for you. You just got to roll with it and just get over it. I didn't really care about this for more than a few minutes. I was like, seriously? For a few minutes, and then I was just like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, as of right now on AUD CAD, not really much happening. There's, you know, you can't get into anything. It's trending up. It's if you were in the reversal and you're still in it, then you're still in it. If you're not, then you're not. But you can't get into any trades there right now, in my opinion. So AUDJPY, let's see what's happening with AUDJPY. It's kind of interesting there actually. AUDJPY. It's trending down overall, but then it gapped up, so who knows? Who knows if that bearish trend is still active or if it's over? Right now, yeah, I see the trend line, George. I do see it. I see the trend line. It's kind of like an iffy trend line though. I wouldn't really say I trust this as a trend line, because you could say that it's a bit messy. Like, I see that it's overall sloping down. I see the downwards trend there a little bit, but I'm not totally convinced. And I also see the other trend line. If you look here, I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but I also see this one here. But you know, the thing with trend lines is they are useful and they're a good tool to use, but there's a problem with trend lines, and in that they can just be placed almost anywhere, and you could trick yourself very easily using trend lines into thinking that it's a trend. It's very easy for someone to trick themselves with trend lines. So with trend lines, I place them sometimes, I use them, but I don't rely too much on the trend line, because I know that sometimes I'm just seeing what I want to see, because humans are very good at that, at seeing what we want to see. We see what we want to see, we hear what we want to hear. And if we don't want to hear it, then we just kind of like tune it out. If we don't want to see it, it just like becomes invisible to us. I'm exaggerating a bit, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. We see what we want to see. So I want to see this trend line here. I want this to be trending down, because if this is trending down and I'm getting into a short, then that's supporting my potential short trade. So because of that, this trend line starts to look good to me and it starts to make sense. And so does a trend line here. Starts to make sense. And so does putting a trend line here. It starts to make sense. But then what if I draw a trend line here? You know, it might not look good on the daily. I'll give you that. It won't look good on the daily. But I'm almost 100% if we were dropped down to the 6 hour maybe. Yeah, there we go. Now this trend line starts to look a little bit better. So now it's trending up. So it's trending up, but it's also trending down. So see what I mean? It's like with trend lines, it's easy to fool yourself into jumping into a trade. This is not to say I discount trend lines. It's just I use them with caution. All right, I'm going on about this a bit too long. Point is, AUDJPY. It does look overall like it's trending down. We have a nice little bullish mini trend heading into resistance, stalling on the resistance area clearly. Could be a potential continuation short here, but it doesn't really look like a great setup at all. I mean, it's a very iffy setup. I'm not too sure. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But I don't think I'm going to enter this one. It's just too messy and too, I don't know. It just doesn't look that great to me, to be honest. So I'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how it goes. All right, AUD New Zealand. Let's see what's happening here. AUD New Zealand, that move up, quite crazy. But there's no potential trade there. AUD USD. Sitting on support, kind of bouncing away, but not really doing much. CAD CHF. I don't even know why I have this pair open. I don't trade CAD CHF. I don't trade CHF JPY. I'm closing that too. These are just all pairs that, like, one of you guys in the forum or here in one of the webinars asked me, hey Nick, can you check this out? And then it just stays open on my list. But I don't think I've ever taken a CHF JPY trade in my life. I don't really plan to anytime soon. It's just such a weird pair. All right, with CAD JPY, nothing's going on. Euro AUD. We were looking at potential long trade on Euro AUD, a long continuation trade, but it didn't really do anything, and it didn't even look that good. Euro CAD was the main candidate for that, actually. In yesterday's analysis, we were looking at a potential long continuation on Euro CAD. So let's see how this one's playing out. But it doesn't look too good. It looks like it's pushed down a bit too far. It would have been a tricky entry on this one. So yeah, nothing really happened there. Euro GBP, it's potentially heading up to this resistance area, but nothing much really. Not really worth looking at that one. Euro JPY. Euro JPY is bouncing from resistance. Not really anything worth trading. Euro New Zealand. Who's short here? That looks pretty nice. I missed that, but I don't really trade Euro New Zealand, to be honest, but oh, well, anyway, even if you, it's too late for this one, so no one's in it, it seems, and even if you wanted to get into it, it's too late. Euro USD, okay, this is actually somewhat interesting. This was posted to the forum too, as a bullish trade, and I think a few of you are in it, right? I was not too interested in this trade. Now, for those of you who missed, because when I post the analysis video to YouTube, I cut out the end of it because the end of it is for Forex Mastermind members only. So in yesterday's analysis, at the end part that wasn't posted to YouTube, we kind of discovered this new this new support area that wasn't on my chart at the time. Well, not we discovered it. Digitalk, I think it was. Was it you, Digitalk? Are you in here right now? Let me check. I can't find the webinar room. Oh, there it is. Digitalk in here. Doesn't look like he is. Well, anyway, Digitalk spotted this this area here, and I placed it, and I said, yeah, it looks like we might have a potential trade there, but I didn't want to enter this one. Now, I'm surprised Digitalk isn't here. I think he said he wanted to ask me a question about this one also. And let me just double check. It doesn't look like it's here. All right, well, so yeah, with this setup here, I wasn't really keen on entering it, and there were a few reasons, and I wanted to explain those reasons in this webinar because it does look like an interesting setup, you know, but it just wasn't really something that I was too keen on. So first reason is, let's go down to the 12-hour actually. We'll use that first little indecision candle. Something like that. Now, the first reason is towards the next resistance area, you only have a 2 risk reward ratio as it's starting to hit the next resistance area. Now, that in itself is not a bad thing, right? You know, a 2 risk reward ratio, it's acceptable, but it's kind of like the minimum. If this resistance area was any closer, if it was down here, then I would write this trade off because it doesn't have enough room. So this one, you know, it's just on the cusp of being okay, you know, of being acceptable, of saying, okay, there's enough room. So it's just on the cusp of being acceptable in terms of risk to reward ratio. So I'm like, okay, yeah, well, maybe it's worth taking in this case. But then, that part has already got me thinking, you know, it's not a fantastic setup. It's okay, but it's not fantastic. So yeah, we have that. Then you look over to the left here, because whenever you want to enter a trade, the first thing you do is you look to the left. It's like the most important step. You look to the left. What do you see there? You see this completely messy range that it was in for ages. So if it gets into here, is it just going to do that again for like 3 weeks? Or how long that was? Was that 3 weeks? It was like at least 2 weeks. All right, maybe I exaggerated a bit, but it's just under 2 weeks that it was stuck in that range, right? So is it going to do that for just under 2 weeks again? Do I want that? No, not really. Not interested in going through that just to potentially hit a target. It just looked too messy. And also, I'm not really convinced that the euro has got much higher to go. So that kind of factored in a little bit too, but generally speaking, economics don't really factor in too much. But anyway, I wasn't that interested in this setup. It was interesting to look at, but yeah, after just some cursory analysis, I just thought, nah. All right, so GBP AUD, what's going on with GBP AUD? I know a few of you are short on GBP AUD. I think you guys have hit target, right? Or at least are coming close to it. Oh yeah, you're on the long, George. You're doing the long from the trend line. Yeah, that's cool, but I'm not sure if the short target has been hit. All right, GBP CAD. Let's see what's up with GBP CAD. Ugh, nothing really. GBP USD just smashed through the support area that was holding it for a while. That interest rate announcement. New Zealand. Meh. New Zealand JPY. Okay. That looks good. Right. Got a bullish trend. I mean, to be honest, the trend is pretty bearish, but it looks like this was the start of a bullish trend, right? It came up here, reversed because of news. It's hitting a support area. Now, as Forex Mastermind members, you know the three main types of reversals we look at. Now, this one is considered a kind of like hybrid between the two. I'm not going to explain that right here because it's part of the course, but this is towards, like, if you have a scale of potentially good reversals or high accuracy reversal trades, this one is definitely towards the accuracy side. This one definitely has me interested. Now, the reason for this is that it is a continuation of this new kind of fresh bullish trend, and it's also based on the news. So, like, you know, news caused by news are short-lived generally. So I could definitely see this settling on this support area and then just continuing its trend. So this one has some good potential. I'm going to keep a close eye on this. We're not seeing indecision yet, so this is nothing to get too excited about, but this is worth keeping an eye on because this could turn into a good trade. So let's keep a close eye on that. New Zealand USD, what's up with that? Nothing much, it's just kind of in between areas. USD CAD, what's going on with that? Nothing much. It is also in between areas. USDJPY, nothing much. Okay. So nothing much going on overall. Let's just do a quick summary. So summary, USDCHF looking good for a potential short. Keep a close eye on this daily candle. Let's see how the daily candle closes and go from there. NZDJPY, possible short continuation trade, like 90% chance that this one's not going to happen. I'm really hardly even interested in this potential short here. You know, it's just something I saw that I'm going to keep an eye on, but it's probably never going to turn into something I would want to trade. And New Zealand JPY, now this one looks more interesting because we got this kind of new bullish trend. It got turned around by news, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that. So keep a close eye down here on the support area. Look for signs that buyers are taking control of price. That way we can enter a bullish reversal. So that is it for today's analysis. The two main ones are USDCHF and New Zealand JPY. Keep a close eye on them, and let's see how they play out, guys. Are there any questions? Thanks for watching the analysis. I hope it was useful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below. Also, for instant notifications when I post analysis or other cool videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Once the setups I share in this analysis trigger, I post live updates as I manage the trade, such as my entry, exit, stop, and when to get out of the trade. For these updates, add me on Facebook or Twitter by clicking the buttons below. I'll see you in the next video.